Good afternoon. I'm Daniel Guess, and welcome to the Imagine Golf Podcast. This podcast is dedicated to help you get the swing and the game that you've always imagined. Today's episode is brought to you by Imagine Golf and PXG. You can go to our site, imaginegolf.com, to see all of our offerings, including our free drills, our practice plans, our golf ebooks and videos, or to book a lesson with me at our state-of-the-art studio right outside of Philadelphia, or virtually from anywhere in the world through our partner, thegolfliveapp.com. You can sign up for our free tips and videos that go out once a week, every week, by simply dropping us your email. Well, it's Friday, and you know what that is. That means it's 4-Minute Friday. 4 left again. Yep, I'm hitting the ball left again, I'm happy to say. I am hitting the ball pretty well, right? Nice little baby draw on it. I had 2 back-to-back rounds of 76, one of which at my local course, which is my local country club, which is really happy for me because I shot abysmal 91 there earlier this summer. So it was kind of a saving of face, if you would. But yeah, really excited to get back consistently in the mid 70s, if you would, and look forward to I'm working on my game. If you've been following the podcast, I'm working on my game every Friday through the winter season here, and trying to get back down to scratch, if you would. So look, today is 4-Minute Friday, where we discuss a tip, a tool, a concept, something that you could take with you on the course immediately in 4 minutes or less, starting now. And today is an easy one, man. And it's something that we talked about before. We had actually did a whole podcast on it before, but it's a question I get asked almost every day, but definitely on a weekly basis. Hey, man, does getting fit for clubs really matter? And I put down in the show notes an article that I wrote for our local paper here with a link in it, so you can read the entire article. But the answer is definitely hell yes. Hell yes, it makes a difference, right? I've stopped using the word fit for clubs and switched it for optimized, right? Because here's the thing. We've been fitting for clubs now for, 100 plus years, right? And even up to about 20 years ago, I had very, very, very little data and analytics used around fitting for clubs, right? You hit, on a lie board, basically a plastic board, and it shows you, the lie of the club that's more appropriate for you. You might put some tape on the club, impact tape, and see where you're hitting at it. Most fitters didn't even do that. But bend the lie here, bend the club there, different shafts here. Hey, try this, try that. Not a lot of analytics there, and certainly no data there whatsoever, right? That's being fit for clubs, right? Measure your, some different measurements, your distance from your hand to the ground, the distance from your hand to your body, all these generic and basic things, by the way, which worked, right? And way better than doing nothing, but certainly not what they do today. So that word of optimization is way more appropriate today, right? You got 2,600 different shaft variations. You got, different kick points in a shaft. You got shafts with 2 kick points. We now know that we can, not only select different head weights and everything, but we can bend the clubs a multitude of different ways, not just, a standard lie adjustment, if you would. So we're really optimizing the club to fit the student's best swing, if you would, and make the best end result. Ultimately, as John Jacobs would say, golf is what the ball does, right? And by the way, when you're getting optimized for clubs, right, that means every club could be different, right? Back in the day, that's not the case, right? We fit you for a club and your 7-iron was fit the same way your 6-iron was typically, or your 9-iron was fit the same way your 3-iron was. That's not the case today. Every club is different. Every club combination can be different. So we're really ultimately optimizing the club or the implement for the student. And just when you say that out loud, yeah, hell yeah, you're going to hit the ball better. You're going to, the tool in your hand is more optimal for the task at hand, which is to hit the ball far and as straight as possible. And more importantly than both of those, as consistent as possible. And you only have to get fit and optimized for clubs one time to know that you'll never go back, right? Never go back to clubs that are not, right? Here's what's not an optimized or an optimal solution, right? Go into a big box retailer, right? Big box golf retailer, and being fit for their clubs, right? What that means is, hey man, try this, try that, right? Try this head, try this shaft. How did that feel? What do you think? All right. Again, this is better than nothing, But if you just say that out loud, it's a generic process at best. At best. Not to mention, more times than not, the person at the big box golf retailer is not well trained, right? Point paragraph, just not well trained. So think about that out loud again. You got an individual that's not well trained, right? You have a process that's not very thorough and rarely uses any data whatsoever, even though they're hitting on a monitor, right? A launch monitor, versus a pure process that is totally optimized for the student, meaning you're hitting multiple clubs, multiple suggestions in shafts, right? You're seeing the data on each one of these different combinations, if you would. They have a tool that shows what the optimization ideally is. In other words, I hit a 7-iron with this gram shaft, this head, this combination, this grip, this everything. And then I can benchmark that against, well, if it was 10 degrees lighter, the shot would have looked like X. Or if the head was 10 degrees, or excuse me, 10 grams heavier, the shot would have looked like Y. That's optimization at its best, right? Now you're truly taking a look at, okay, with this club setup, right? You're better off. You're so much better off, hitting this dispersion pattern than you were with the other club setup, right? So you walk out of that with a rock solid, definitive knowledge, knowing that these clubs are optimized for you, the way that you present your swing today, and you're going to play better golf. There is no doubt about it, right? In the article, it talks about, all right, in more detail, what people actually go through in a proper fitting, what you need to know about how to get quote unquote, and I'm doing air quotes here, fit for clubs or optimized for clubs. So check out the article. All right. As always, look, that's all I have today. But as always, thank you for listening to the podcast. We're still in the top 60, 70 podcasts in the country. So we're happy about that. It doesn't happen without you guys listening. We are number 9 in Finland for some strange reason. So that's pretty cool, right? I don't know who's listening to it over there or how it got to Finland and why it's popular there, but I'll take it. All right. But again, be sure to hit the follow button on wherever you get your podcast. Excuse me. Be sure to check out our site, imaginegolf.com. And you can follow us on all the social media platforms. We're on all of them. And here's to getting you the game and the swing that you've always imagined.